Take it away.
Who's introing?
Boy, you're
Al.
introducing it.
Oh, fucking Christ. Welcome to the second episode of the podcast. I am your host, Mr. N. Joined with me, I have
Dr. Al.
Jorge.
And Dr. Al.
Pending Dr. Al.
So, as everyone can see, we are still struggling to get everything quite in order. But we shall move on from that. So, this week's icebreaker is provided by Dr. Al.
All right. So my icebreaker for this week, our listeners and viewers could also could email us at the ogdonutshop@gmail.com for their response. Is pretty easy. It's what is the best prank you have pulled on someone or someone has pulled on you?
Best prank. I guess for me, one of the most creative ones we did was we bought our best friend a smartwatch that he wanted that we already owned. So what we did was we created a cardboard cutout version of the watch. We put it in my actual box and we gave it to him as a gift.
I remember that one. Yeah, it was a Model 360. Yeah.
Yeah, the Model 360.
Let's see. I'm not sure this counts as a prank, but it's only funny. It's back in high school. One of someone in the class who was sitting next to me mentioned that if you were to wet a tampon and like throw it on a wall, it will stick forever. So we got real. So I got curious, and another friend at our table had a tampon. So I proceeded to sneak behind the class, wet it in one of the sinks in the back there, and threw it at the window above the back of the room. Made a huge bang, and I dove for my seat because I was pretty sure I was getting expelled.
Yeah,
or really big trouble for that one.
I don't remember this happening.
This was in physical education. No, was it physical? It was junior year. I remember that.
So did it stick though? Did it stick in the wall?
It stuck. It was there for a while. I haven't been there. I haven't been to the school recently, but after we graduated, I went back like a year later, and it was still there.
It was still
Seriously.
there.
Yeah.
So did they take it down?
I don't think anyone noticed.
Pretty interesting.
Oh, man.
So what's so as I mentioned for our viewers on YouTube, the email is listed on there, but for our podcast listeners, you could email your response at the ogdonutshop@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. The best prank I've pulled is on my friends back in high school. I got them to believe that this family friend son was my son, and for like 4 or 5 years, every Father's Day, they would include me in the Happy Father's Day, Dr. Al. I'll be like, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And it wasn't until like 5 years later that I told them the truth.
So to put a little more perspective on that, I think I was the last one to figure it out. I think I was the last. I think everyone figured it out except for me, and no one told me. So
you weren't the only one, Dave. Man, the only one that knew was me. He told us, and the next day I'm like, bro, listen, based on prior information of our friendship, I know that's a damn lie, but we kept it going anyway for like a good 5-6 years.
that was a good. That was
a very long. That was the best prank I think I've ever pulled on someone.
I think that's one of the best pranks, period, in our group. I don't think many of us can beat that.
Yeah. All right. I'll be fair here, and I was gonna do this to David, to Mr. N, but I might as well share it here because I did this to our friend Carlos. So for his birthday, I invited him over, and I told him, "Yeah, bro, come over. I'll cook you some steaks at my hand." And as my co-host now, I don't cook anything, let alone prepare steak dinner. So he was excited. So I was like, all right, cool. So what I did was I ordered from a steak shop nearby, and they had like a family bundle: steak, sides, salad, all the dressing. So we got it together. I got my family here to help me out. We made the kitchen look like the food was made home, and I had it served out on the plates. We got rid of all the evidence. So when he came over, he swore I made him this perfectly grilled steak for him.
What the? Wait, how long ago was this?
This was for his birthday this year.
This year? I wasn't part of this? Oh my God, I wish I was part of this.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was
Holy
good.
shit, that's amazing.
And so, do you know how their bread, the bread that they serve, is very specific. It's like cinnamon flavored.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and he tasted it, and he's like, "Yo, this bread is so good. It tastes like the one from that steak place." And I almost lost it. And he's like, "Yo, how'd you make that?" I'm like, "Oh, bro, it's easy. Just put some cinnamon butter on it. It's no problem." Just kept going.
That's funny.
Yeah, so Mr. N was going to be the next target. I'm like, I don't know if I get away with it because I feel like he'll ask too many questions. And
I would ask many questions. God, yeah.
He was like, "Yo, how did you get the grill lines? You made it on a fucking on a skillet." I'm like, "Oh, bro, I brought it outside real quick on the grill."
That's good. That's good.
I'm surprised I even believe you, man. I've never seen you once cook.
Exactly.
He's made toast. Like if you told me he made buttered up some really good toast, I think I believe him.
You cannot mess that up. Some buttered toast. Come on.
Don't try.
I know that household. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was our icebreaker for the week. Anyway, as Dr. Al said, if you are interested in giving your own response, please feel free to email us at theogdonutshop@gmail.com. All right. That being said, we are going to move on. So today's Sunday, which is typically new manga day. So we'll start with the one we all read, One Piece. So did everyone read the chapter just to make sure?
Yes.
Absolutely. No spoilers will be done.
I mean, we're gonna spoil the crap out of this in the
podcast.
Spoilers
for whoever's not actually.
Yeah. So for those who aren't caught up, this is probably the best time to pause and come back at a later date. But that being said, I'm just going to do a quick rundown of what happened. Let's see. Our title page was Lola and what's it? Why don't I remember her name for life of me? Lola
Chiffon.
And who? Chiffon, yeah. meeting their dad. By the way, how is he still alive?
Yeah, he took a nasty hit, yo.
Oven wrecked his ass.
You don't die in One Piece, man.
No, you do die.
Rest in peace, Blackbeard and Ace. Rest in peace, Whitebeard and Ace.
Yes, absolutely. And Goldie Rogers.
Does anyone remember Pell? Does anyone remember Pell?
Oh my God, Pell. Yeah, Pell should have died. No, Pell should have died. But yeah, how is this man alive? But anyway, let's see. So from going on chapter, page 1 is up. Apparently, all Luffy did was kind of dislocated his jaw a little. I don't know if that's a sign of how strong page 1 is, or a sign Luffy's a little not as strong as we think he is.
I think.
Yeah, I'm not
just using it to get by, just like swatting them away.
Yeah, I mean it was just an elephant gun, but I don't know. I mean, dislocating someone's jaw is pretty hard, I would assume, right?
Yeah, you have to throw a pretty nasty punch to dislocate someone's jaw. But you also have to understand that they're going through like this military base, so he's got to conserve his energy for the final boss punch. So he might not be giving like his all and trying to he's trying to get them all to like knock them down a little bit so that he could continue going forward.
That's an interesting point to bring up. We'll get to which is actually that's brought up by another character later in the chapter.
Yep, I think he learned that in the Katakuri fight, where when he was running away from the fight, going in between mirror worlds, he had to conserve his energy. So I think that's something he's being mindful of.
Yeah. So looking up, ulti is back up. So looks like she got pretty hit hard, but she's still up and running. So I guess Yamato isn't as, I don't know. Again, the fact that she's up and when she didn't get one-shotted as hard as we thought. So does that make Yamato weaker or the same level as they are? I would say he's a little stronger, right?
It could just mean as a way of to kind of like I said with Luffy, it's just a mean to hey, let me just knock them out for like 2 seconds. Let me so that Yamada could grab Luffy and like run and go and whatever they need to do. So it's kind of really hard to really grasp a power level on all these characters at the moment in this scenario because like they're not really giving it all their their 100% strength. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's kind of hard to grasp their.
That's true, and Yamato probably has a fruit. I would imagine. Like, I can't imagine Kaido not giving his own flesh and blood a fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. She should. The character should have some.
Odin didn't have a fruit.
True.
So
we'll get to that later, but we'll see.
But I stand by the no.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. We have a little disagreement between Luffy and Yamato. Again, Luffy's not really going all out. Just kind of. I'll give you 5 seconds to explain your shit and let me get the fuck out. Yamato has a bit of a flashback, I think, hinting towards Ace, since we know Ace did go on Wano for a little bit. Let's keep going. Let's see. Oh, then we cut to Orochi, Momo in chains, Jinbei and Robin.
They stole the chapter in 3 panels, man.
I want to see. I don't really watch obviously I don't watch the One Piece anime. This is the one time I do want to see this anime. I want to see Robin in this character. I can't imagine her like Robin and her voice actors pulling this off. I want to see it.
Yeah, it would be a nice thing to see. Yeah, they really that was really cool. I was chuckling when I was reading that, and the way they were just blending in right there with the enemies, like they belonged there. Yeah, and it was freaking awesome.
And for looking,
no, I was gonna say that they were kind of like really holding back because they really wanted to go out there and start like beating people to death, but they can't since Momo was just hanging there, awaiting his execution.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, from looking at things, they all quite a few of them are all worried about Momo, so they've definitely got a good amount of people ready to jump. Just they need the signal or whatever is going to tell them, okay, fight's on. Let's see. Then we cut to Law's submarine with the 9 scabbards, right? 9. Am I remembering that correctly?
I don't think all 9.
I don't think it's all. Yeah, I think it's like half of them. They made a plan that they were going to split. Some were going to go directly down the demon hall or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but down the tunnel or whatever. And then the other ones were going to sneak around the island.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay. Yeah. So we see Dogstorm, Raizo, the ninja, right? Raizo.
Correct.
Raizo, Kappa, and whatever the other dude. The bigger dude with the curly hair. I don't remember his name for life of me right now.
He's got like 5 names.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, and the one, this little sister. No. She was revealed as a boy, right?
Yeah, it's a boy.
Yeah, it's a boy. Yeah, that's right.
Akiku.
Yeah. Let's see. Law does his thing. He switches some rocks with the scabbards and himself. They're basically at Kaido's doorstep, back door. And we later meet Marco. Kiku's brother, Izo. I don't
know.
Izo. I think Izo's good.
Marco, Izo, and Cat Viper. Anyone notice that Cat Viper's updated design?
Whose design?
Oh, the gun.
Yeah, Cat Viper has a gun on his arm now.
Nice.
Oh, yeah,
because he lost his arm against Jack, so now he has a little gun. Yeah.
Good eye.
I was like, hey, look at that. So
I'm pretty sure Izu didn't have the scar either.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but now I realize. Kiku and Aizo, now I see the family resemblance. Both men, but look very, very feminine.
They do look very feminine.
Yeah, I'm mad I didn't put 2 and 2 together initially, but there we go.
Yeah, no scar pre-time skip though.
Yeah. Let's see. Next,
what I found cool about this whole thing is like I don't know if these ninjas in Wano know about devil fruits because they keep they keep doing like jitsu, like when
the
when
samurais. Yeah, I don't think they know devil fruits are a thing. Like the inhabitants anyway. Kaido's army, obviously they know. Kaido's crew obviously know what fruits are.
Yeah,
but the Wanoians, whatever the heck you call people who live in Wano, they definitely don't know the existence of fruits.
Yeah, because it was reminding me of like Naruto when he would say like jutsu on the bottom. Jutsu or whatever.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see next. Kaido and his commanders join Orochi. They're getting ready for the execution.
Side note, Alvin, I think that also kind of plays into their isolationist government.
It's also probably because they're ninjas, so they're probably like I don't know too much about ninjas, but
samurai. Only some of them are ninjas.
Oh, okay. Some of them are okay.
Like Raizo's a ninja.
Yeah, right.
Shinobu's a ninja, but majority of them are considered samurai.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. What was it? You brought up something interesting. I was about to bring it up. Oh well. Anyway, Kaido and his commanders join up. Let's see. We cut back to Luffy and Yamato. Yamato has Odin's journal. Was this hinted at? Is his journal hinted at in the flashback at all? I don't remember.
I mean, as the flashback progressed, you did get some like shots of him like writing it, not in the way like art wise, but like the way he was telling the story was definitely being written down.
Okay.
So that's definitely part of the deal.
Okay.
But there was some stuff in there, so I want to know what kind of things hinting at Laugh Tale.
Oh, Odin. Yeah, true. That also Odin. Well, Odin's a bit of a character. I'm not sure how accurate his tellings would be.
Yeah. On top of that, would Luffy accept that journal? Because you know how I think at one point in a chapter, wasn't he like someone was about to give him the information? He like
that was Rayleigh. Yeah, Rayleigh offered to give him the information for Laugh Tale, but Luffy refused.
And in one of those one of those movies, that's I don't know if it's canon, but like the recent movie, didn't he get the globe thingy?
Oh yeah. I remember. He got the Eternal Post, the Laugh Tale. Yeah, and then he crushed it. Yeah, you're right. Well, it's not canon, but it's there. It's definitely Luffy's character.
It's Luffy's character, but it could also be information in regards to the Void Century because Toki was from before Odin's time.
Yeah.
So she could have given him an information. And it isn't bold if you look at the official text. Very important things are written here in bold.
Yeah, very important thing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it'll lead to hints to some of the road poneglyphs. I would have to assume because we're still missing 2. Kaido has one. Well, we haven't seen Kaido's yet. We don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So we're missing Kaido's because we haven't seen it yet, and one more. We don't know where the exact location. I'm assuming Blackbeard would have it, but who knows?
Yeah. Was it Full of Lead Island? I think it's the name of that island that he's on.
Yeah, the island where the Rock's crew was initially from. And continuing last page, we get the big reveal that Yamato is not a man, but instead a woman or trans woman. I don't know.
No, I think she's a woman.
Oh, wait, physically she's a woman, but she chose to be a man. So is trans the proper term I should be using here?
I'm not sure because I don't think she's converting into a man.
I think she's
cross-dresser might be the
cross-dresser. Yeah, maybe a cross-dresser.
I think it's more of a symbolic gesture as opposed to like because she says there how she really admires Odin.
Yes,
and,
right. Yeah, so she wants to be a man because of Odin.
Yeah, so I think it might just be just kind of an identity thing at the moment. But I don't know. I mean, it could be just be Oda, with the times currently.
Yeah, it could be Oda. I mean,
a little bit like that,
Yeah. And then she drops the bomb that she knew Ace, and that is the end of our chapter.
And unfortunately, we have to wait 2 freaking weeks until the next damn chapter.
I think that's everybody. I think that's everybody, right?
And you know how much I hate having to...
No,
Is it?
No.
Okay.
no, My Hero is the 12th,
Okay.
and
Anyway.
Dr. Stone.
Okay, so that was our admittedly a little slightly longer recap. So let's go around the horn. Thoughts, pros, cons. Sorry, excuse me.
Dr. Al?
So my thoughts is that this was an amazing chapter. What I predict is, because there's not a lot of women in in Luffy's crew, I think she might join them. I hope she does. That would be badass. Because
Hashtag Yamato for next Nakama.
Sanji's gonna go crazy over her. Okay, it's gonna be another eye candy from her. Man.
It'd be great if Yamato introduces herself as Yamato's son, but with her face revealed. This is gonna mess up Sanji completely.
So, I'm actually looking very forward to seeing Sanji come into play right now.
Sanji's gonna have the most confused boner of his life
because he's out there looking for girls right now. Last I checked, last chapter in the brothel. Unfortunately, he found Big Mom, which is not really pretty.
He met Kiku, right?
Huh?
Sanji met Kiku, right? Does anyone remember what's
No.
Hasn't met Kiku?
No.
At all? No way. There's no way he's not met Kiku yet.
Zoro knew. Zoro met her.
Yeah, I mean, off screen maybe, right? They have to meet off screen. They were together for a while, preparing. Anyway, sorry. Keep going, Alvin.
It's okay. But anyways, as I was saying, so I'm really looking forward to that. I was surprised to see that that Kaido's son was a woman and a daughter, in fact. And which is curious because does the rest of his crew know that his son is a girl, or is it just because she's always been wearing the mask?
Back to that point. Kaido did say son, so Kaido respects Yamato's decision or gender fluidity, whatever you want to call it. So
he respected Oden, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so Kaido did say son, but he still considers Yamato kind of a piece of shit. So
yeah.
Interesting fodder.
And I don't even think Luffy was listening the whole time he was talking, because he has this dumbfound look on the panel. If you check, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? I just want to get to the fight.
I think Luffy's a little more. I mean, that's his character, not to pay attention, but I think after meeting Katakuri, I think he's a little more attentive to the things around him.
A bit more details.
I think so.
Overall, I would give this this chapter a solid 8.5 out of 10. If I had to rate it.
Mr. Jorge?
So I think the chapter was interesting. The Yamato reveal doesn't. It was a shocker. If I don't know, my gosh, she's a woman, but I don't think it's that big a deal. I think what I want to see more of is I want to see more of the crew interaction with with Kaido's crew. The Robin Jinbei part I found very, very funny, so I want to see more of that. I think her bringing up Ace right off the bat seems like it's out of nowhere, but it might also be that
it's very well known that Luffy and Ace are brothers. Like, there was a whole war about it, so it's very well known.
But does she know?
I would assume. I mean,
she did mention that she wants to open Wano up.
Yeah, she mentioned it. Yeah, and she's definitely met Ace, and Ace would brag about Luffy at one point.
Yeah, and so I feel like she is very up to date with current events, based on the type of character she is. Even though, Kaido doesn't, she clearly wants to. So I'm sure she's probably snuck out of Wano and gone around or whatever. So
I don't think that's the case, man. The chains tell me she gets locked up frequently. She breaks out. But I think keeping an eye on her is definitely a Kaido priority, based on the fact that he put his best people on it.
All right, I'll keep you on.
Ultimately, yeah, I think the chapter is really well executed. The one teaser they got me is for Kaido's announcement for next week. I don't know what it could be, so that's the biggest takeaway for me. I'm curious about.
His project that he mentioned.
Yeah, his announcement.
Yeah, that's right. I did forget to mention that in the recap. Yeah, the Onigashima project, whatever that alludes to.
Yep.
All right. Get a grade?
Solid 7.
Oh. All right. So last but not least, I enjoyed the chapter quite a bit. I get Jinbei and Robin's interactions was definitely really good. It shows a lot about Oda and his writing. Like this, despite almost 1,000 chapters, he can still, come up with the funnies. It's a good setup. Looking forward to how Marco, Izo are going to play in things to come. So about Yamato being a woman, so the mask Yamato wears is a kabuki mask, and the mask and a kabuki mask come in genders. So so she was wearing a female kabuki mask the entire time.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was a strong hint that Yamato might have been a woman.
So question: is it based on the? Because I'm looking at her mask right now. Is it the horns coming out a certain way?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure the entire the exact details. I'm not a kabuki connoisseur or anything. I do. It's just that mask itself is supposed to be worn for female characters. So it was strongly hinted at, and lo and behold, Yamato is a woman. So, and this also, someone brought this up that this actually fixes a plot hole a lot of people had. We all know Odin was part of is considered a brother by Whitebeard. Whitebeard would not stand. Whitebeard would destroy Kaido if he knew he killed his brother, but never happened. So, the ongoing thing is, the plot hole was, why didn't Whitebeard attack Kaido after Odin died? 20 years ago. So this explains it. Ace met Odin, quote unquote, reported back to Whitebeard. Oh yeah, I met this one weird guy, Odin. He's cool, and Whitebeard just like, oh okay, so Odin's alive. Good enough.
Oh, so the daughter was
so because Yamato's been calling herself Odin, or trying to be Odin, and for however long, right?
Oh, okay,
but thing is, the word of Odin's death never reached Whitebeard, so it's just odd. So knowing she met Ace could have easily reported back to Whitebeard, oh, I met this person named Odin in Wano. He seems cool. And Whitebeard would have known nothing about, and wouldn't have known any better. Okay,
okay.
So a lot of information here. Again, it fixes fixes some plot holes. A lot of some people in the community were thinking about. I think again, solid chapter. Don't have much of a grade for it. I'll give it an 8.
So I view it higher than everybody else, apparently.
8.5. Again, solid chapter, good setup. Gotta get laughs. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good chapter.
Anyway, that is One Piece. So, Dr. Al here has been reading My Hero Academia.
Yes, after you guys have praised it so much to me constantly throughout the months, I finally decided to read My Hero. I read the first 10 chapters of it, and it's pretty interesting. Not.
How far is you said 10 chapters? How far are you?
So he was training to become the next All for One. I think the power is the quirk.
All for One. Yeah.
And
so one for all. Sorry, one for all. Sorry.
One for all. Okay. And he got into the school. They did a couple tests. He fought his arch enemy, his longtime friend or not friend.
Bully.
This bully, I guess.
Bully. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I left off right when they were playing heroes and villains. And
okay.
And they won as heroes the challenge that All Might set up for them.
Okay.
That's where I left it off. So it's pretty cool. It's got this nice setup. Not a lot of things I don't think happen in the first couple of chapters. The first 10 chapters I read.
It's a bit of a slow burn. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it interesting that maybe this just shows how like my mind is, but when he mentioned that you have to eat this piece of hair to get my DNA, I thought of something else completely.
That is the weirdest part of the beginning of
of acquiring DNA faster than from hair. I don't even know if hair has any DNA, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's part of your body, so yeah, DNA. I mean, probably to be honest, it said DNA, so your spit counts as DNA as well. So it could have been anything. But I guess the hair was the simplest thing to do for him.
Maybe because I was like, and I kind of wanted to like, but I didn't get around to doing it. I actually wanted to look into that to see if actually DNA contains any hair.
I would assume. I mean, I know like old TV shows, they always use like hair sample. They would, if you want to clone somebody, they would find your hair and use your hair to clone yourself. So, like, I don't know if there's actual science behind it. Probably there's some legit.
Probably some science behind it. Yeah, you got to do some kind of research if you want to create a manga.
Yeah.
So
there is.
Yeah. So 10 chapters in, would you like to continue reading this, or
I would continue it to see where it's going. It is, like you mentioned, a pretty slow paced chapters at the moment. Nothing really out of this world happened. He acquired this quirk. I got a little bit of background how he never likes to quit, and All Might saw that in him, and so I would definitely continue going it, and I'll probably read another 10 chapters or so and tell you guys more about it next week on our other episode.
All right, sounds good.
But so far, not too bad. A pretty decent start.
All right, good to hear. About time you finally start reading it.
Yeah, exactly. You guys been telling me for a while, and I was looking into. They have like I think almost what was it, like 250 chapters? I think
something like 277 right now.
277. All right, so it's gonna be a little bit of a a little journey.
Yeah. So one of the things that is definitely noticed, those first few chapters are slow, but I would say, I'm not too sure chapter number wise, but if you compare it to like the anime, after the first 4 episodes, it really picks up and it really gets interesting, and it wraps you in. The world itself is very interesting. Just the quirk system, it'll pull you in and getting to see different quirks interacting.
Yeah, some of the heroes from this new class session, they had some pretty cool one. Like the guy that had the jet engines on, or not? They look like jet engines.
Yeah.
On the bottom, they are jet engines.
Yeah,
on the back of his legs. That's pretty cool. And the anti-gravity girl that can make anything she touches gravity free.
Yeah. There's a lot of quirky powers. So yeah, I think that's like the charm of it.
Yeah.
Again, hopefully, keep reading. You see some more like the more really good action scenes. I consider Horikoshi the author / artist. He's up there with Oda in my opinion.
Has he done any previous work that I might have encountered?
Not that I've seen. I could be wrong. He might have. He probably has a few one shots at the very least. I haven't looked it up, but he has a really distinct art style, and it flows really well. Oda has a tendency to have like female characters that look the same, and very messy, super detailed but messy art. Horikoshi, all his characters are very unique, and the action is very easy to follow. Not super complicated. It's not like do think overall One Piece fights are better, but the art's very, very clean. It looks really good.
Yeah, this is one of the instances where if you go anime versus manga, you can't go wrong no matter what. Each one definitely has their strengths and weaknesses, but it's not like One Piece where the manga is definitively better. You know what I mean? So both have their strengths. There'll be some fights like, oh man, the anime was so good, but the way the manga did it is so much better. But then there's other instances like the anime with the added perks of being animated blows it away.
All right. Anyway, we're getting short on time, so we're gonna move on quickly. So we are also following Dr. Stone. Are you caught up, Dr. Al?
I am not. No.
I got it. Okay.
Originally, this was something that I started reading, and I told about my podcasters about, and they have taken it. they have kept up to date with it. I have not.
So, well, since you're not cut up, let's just talk generally. Up to the point where you're at, how do you feel about Dr. Stone? Or the current arc that you read or are reading?
Well, he's been following longer. I don't, guess I'm the new. I'm technically the newcomer for Doctor Stone here, despite the fact I'm caught up.
Come on now.
Listen, I apologize.
The marathoning. What? It took about a week to marathon all 150 some chapters. I think it's really. I think it's really fun. I think the gimmick, the whole science gimmick, hasn't died yet, which is a good sign. It takes a lot for one series to stick with a gimmick and follow through and keep it interesting, especially for over 3 years now.
I mean, in the defense of the manga, there's a lot of things science related. You know,
yeah, it really is, and which is one of the good points about it, like coming up with different ways to make making gasoline. How he's managed to like bring things like a car or a ship from the Stone Age to into whatever, making those things in the Stone Age. It's definitely really interesting.
My thing when I first started that is when the main character, the scientist, the mad scientist, genius guy,
Senku.
How the hell did he count while up to that number? He mentioned that he was counting throughout the time.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, how the hell did you count?
Yeah, so this is when you kind of have to just say manga. just kind of turn off your brain.
Suspend a little bit of disbelief.
Yeah, same thing for everything. Like even Aisha 21, which is supposedly which is a manga about football. They basically have superpowers.
Oh man, iShield. When I first started watching that, when I first started reading and watching it, it was so. And I had not started football at the time, so then I started getting into football because we play fantasy football and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, just to get down 5 yards, it made it seem like this guy went through like 50 miles. I'm like,
yeah.
So if you want to get into anything Japanese, you have to suspend your disbelief. You have a suspense of disbelief to really get it, because if you think about anything too hard, it kind of ruins the fun of it.
Yeah, that's all media, to be honest.
So,
but for Dr. Stone, I think not to spoil anything for Al, who's not caught up, but they're really getting very character focused lately, and I really appreciate that. And they're diving into some really intricate and interesting relationships that is definitely hooking me more now, aside from the science stuff.
I would definitely be caught up, but like between My Hero that you guys have been constantly telling me about and is it called Demon Slayer?
Yeah, Demon Slayer. Yeah,
Demon Slayer. I've been a bit preoccupied and trying to get everything.
For the record, Dr. Al is blaming us. That's all. For the record.
But
I never take responsibility.
What Jorge brought up, that they're focusing a little more on characters, which was one things that I had a gripe about. I felt that there's too many characters. They brought up a really good, interesting, the gimmick of reviving people, choosing to, and selectively reviving people until they can mass produce it. Yeah. So it lets you like introduce new characters like a little bit at a time. But at one point in the story, it just got overwhelming. Like at one point, just like 50 different characters, and I'm trying to figure, and I don't have enough time to learn all, what they want, what are their their goals, their character traits. It's just more of a okay, random old person. Moving on to female, moving on to new boy, the new girl. It's just it made things So it made everyone really one note. They had this one thing. That's what you know them as for, and then you moved on. So they're focusing more on
because in the beginning when you're building civilization, you have to kind of just have like, listen, you're good at whatever, building houses. I need you to build 10 houses for me right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to kind of be orientated in one goal for the beginning. And,
a byproduct of the fact that it's such a tries to be a scientifically accurate manga, that it has to explain the science. So obviously, the science of Dr. Stone would take precedent a little over some of the lesser characters. So I can see why it'd be like, hey, this is the guy with a spear. He does this thing. This is the guy that builds shit. This is his thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Yeah. So again, I'm glad they're focusing a little more on character, which is what I think it was missing to be. I still think Dr. Stone's probably one of the top 3 now in Shonen, but it just a little bit of writing could be a little better, but they're focusing on it now, so all good. All right. Moving on. I think we have to skip that topic for we are about 40 minutes in, and I do want to get into some of the other things here.
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna jump straight into gaming. So there's a lot of we have a few gaming news. Al, you want to jump into the big one that we've that we've been playing?
So, for anybody that did not know, the new games on the next gen series will be $10 more.
Oh,
Apparently.
I was hinting at the game we were playing, but okay, we could go on that one too. That's fine.
Oh, you talking about the?
I think we should. Yeah, let's touch on the gaming first. We'll leave The Last of Us for last.
All right. So all right. Well, Al, go ahead, bring it up.
As I was mentioning, the rumor is that the new gen games will be $10 more. They'll actually be $69.99. So with taxes, you're probably looking at about $75 for a video game.
All this is in US dollars, by the way.
Yeah, so it could be more in whatever country you're listening from. Although I read an article today, I don't know if you guys were. It's a little bit sidetracked, but it involves with gaming. But this article I just read prior to the podcast, they mentioned how people were changing their location on their computer to different countries so that they could download games from there because they're cheaper. Like for example, the Horizon Zero Dawn in Argentina, it was like I think 8 or 9, like 2,100 pesos or something like that. So it was coming up to like $8.99 US or something.
Really?
Like yeah. So sorry, I do want to jump in on this. So Horizon Zero Dawn, I've been looking for. I played this game on PlayStation, loved it. Been waiting to come on PC. It dropped on Steam, the pre-order, a couple days ago, and in the US it's $50 US for initially a $60 game, and the DLC was like $20, so $80, I guess. So they had $1 price initially, dropped to $50 on Steam, but like Dr. Al said, depending on the regions, some places have this game for like $8, some have it for 25. Some have, again, this is all converted to US dollars. So now, in Europe, it's actually more expensive. Europe, it's 50 euros. So that's like what, $56, $58, something like that?
Yeah, like something like that. Probably like
US,
$50.
Yeah. So the regional pricing for Horizon Zero Dawn is insane, and I don't know why. And
yeah, I don't know the reason behind that, but it doesn't really affect the whole next gen system, because for most part you will have like physical hard copies. I mean, you might have the digital copies as well, because I think PlayStation has two versions of the system, but I don't think you could like change your location settings on the PlayStation, or like the Xbox.
Yeah, so that's the problem with that. On PC, you can definitely.
On PC, you could do it.
Get a VPN and you're good to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
People do that with Netflix.
Yeah, all the time. People do that everywhere.
Anyway, back to the actual topic. So NBA 2K21 released their pricings for. So if you were to buy the game on current gen consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox One, you pay the standard $60 or $100 for the Manga edition. We could get on the morality of that edition later. And then for next gen consoles, for the PS5 and the Series X, it is $70. And then $100 for that Manga edition.
I don't know if I would be able to like start playing games anymore at that price range. I'm gonna have to see if I could get like a free copies from like Ubisoft or something when I want to play something.
Yeah. It's funny that that NBA 2 that 2K a sports game developer is the one going for the price increase because they make millions off of microtransactions already.
Yeah, and like the whole thing about this is that like every year you need to buy the new game. So I don't know if people will continue buying.
So,
People who buy NBA, NFL, MLB, they'll buy it every year.
FIFA.
FIFA,
I
Call of
bought
Duty.
I bought FIFA every year when the new series would come out, except for like up until 2018. When 2018 came around, I don't know if it's because I grew up, but I'm like, what's the point of me buying something every year?
I'm
For
right
like,
there with you, Al.
you know what I mean? So I
With,
probably
Madden.
I'll probably buy like every other year or every 2 to 3 years. Moving forward.
So some background information. I never bought sports games like that, or period at all. So I was never in the whole yearly refresh of every sports game. The other two here, Dr. Al was big on FIFA, and Mr. Jorge was big on Madden. So they were definitely part of the cycle.
Yes, absolutely. I was for a long time.
Yeah, we were apart for a while. I think I was in there for about 6-7 years before I stopped.
Yeah.
So I'll pose a question for you, and I feel like this question has been asked before relative to the conversation, maybe not amongst ourselves, but do you think now, particularly with the split between the PS5 and the PS5 digital version, should digital games cost less because there's no physical hardware, there's no shipping, there's no manufacturing process?
I think so. I would have to say argue with it being yes, because you could just upload it and download it, you know. So there is no like, shipping costs like you mentioned and stuff like that. So I mean, it probably will be. I think if I have to guess, it might be like that. Like hard copy would be like let's say $70, but the digital would be like 65 or something.
I'm also the same mindset. I think digital versions should be cheaper. Problem is, it's not based on the market. It's not going to be a thing. Not just games. Obviously, digital versions of games cost the same, if not more, than physical copies. A lot of times, physical copies are cheaper because you can find sales on physical games more likely than digital games, especially on consoles. This also translates over to comics. I buy a lot of comics. Spider-Man, Flash, Batman, all that. The $4 if I were to go to a physical comic book store, $4. If I were to buy a digital, $4. So no matter, yeah. Wow. So I think it's just the market, the capitalism. I don't even want to call it. I don't. For some reason, the world doesn't think digital should mean cheaper, despite the fact it is cheaper. Because Jorge brought up, there's no shipping, there's no packaging.
Yeah,
it's straight to the customer.
That's interesting. I didn't know they did that for comic books, and I didn't even know they did that for digital copies. Because me personally, I'm like a physical hard copy type of guy. Like I would go out and get the game. I don't really download the game on anything except for like Steam for like video games on my computer. But yeah, I don't. It's definitely gonna raise some. They'll probably have to do a little bit more research. They'll probably conduct like a study. See how people would feel about the $10 increase, or maybe they already did. I don't know. NBA 2K21 is a big company. EA is a big organization. They're known for taking every dollar possible from their consumers.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, EA is trying to make amends of that. I know EA, they're trying to put their games back on Steam again. Actually, so before they were very hardcore. You only buy it from our launcher. Now it's back. Now they're actually working with Steam again to put their games back on Steam. So I think EA realized, okay, we have a really, really bad rep. We need to fix this. So we live in a weird world now. Like before, like Blizzard, but that's the makers of like World of Warcraft and Skyrim and other games of that sort. They were like held as our champions because they made great games. They didn't try to drown us in microtransactions, etc. And companies like EA, where they were like the devil. Well, they're trying to milk us, drain us, whatever. Now it's flipped. Now Blizzard and Bethesda are they're the shame of the gaming community, and EA is trying really, really hard to win us back. Like, I mean, competition is a scary thing, I guess.
Yeah. It's all about who's at the head of the CEO and who's the head of the CEO of each company.
Yeah.
So that's probably why
it'd be like financial suicide to not include microtransactions in this day and age, just because it's so commonplace everywhere.
Yeah.
If you tell a company I'm making this game, there's no microtransactions, they're less likely to buy in because there's no more. There's less of that. There's less flowing income. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also consumer mentality. So when a game comes out and says there's no microtransactions, that wins fans over. So fans are more likely to buy a game that says there's no microtransactions.
Yeah, that's me, man. Like, I can't buy money. Like, I play this mobile game like I've been playing it for 5 years, and they always have the option that you could buy and like, level up your guys quicker and earlier and get more cash to level up your guys. It's called Clash Royale, but I refuse to spend any of my hard money on the game.
So
I do it the hard way.
So the fact that it has microtransactions doesn't have any effect on Albin's consumption of the game. So I don't think if a company comes out and says, "Hey, no microtransactions," it's goodwill, but ultimately, I don't think it's as impactful as you might expect it to be.
Mm-hmm. I think honestly, I think a lot of games can pull off both, include microtransactions, but just not shove it in their face. Yeah, I play a lot of Monster Hunter. And that game actually has quite a few microtransactions.
Really?
I spent quite a few dollars on microtransactions.
I'll be completely honest. I've never once heard you mention that about the game. So this is the first time I'm actually hearing about this. So that says a lot.
Yeah,
in regards to their system.
Yeah, so you can buy like special dances, you can buy room decorations or haircuts, whatever. But it's not shoved down in your face. So I bought the game, I bought the deal, I bought the expansion pack, and I've spent probably $30-$40 on microtransactions. It's never been shoved to me at all. It's just out of goodwill. So, I love the game. I played the game for over 1,400 hours. So I see something. I see, there's a statue I can buy for my room. Yeah, I'll spend $5 to get a statue. Why not? I love the game enough. I'll do it.
Yeah, if it's not constantly being shoved down your I hate the games that would probably be like, hey, you need this new thing to do this. No. Listen, like you said, if it's not shoved down your face, but it's present, and you just want to do it because you've invested a lot of time into the game, yeah, I'm all up for it.
Yeah,
I'll definitely spend that. It's like with the game that I play on my mobile game. If there's they introduce these emojis now inside the game, and there's this really cool one where this goblin character sticks out his two hands, like it does the peace sign to signify that, hey, I'm winning. And every time I see that, it would crack me up. I finally saw it on the shop center. I was like, $2, gotta get it.
Got $1 per finger, man.
Right, that's how they get you. All right, so to close out the topic, if next gen games jump up to $70, would you guys actually buy, or would you guys wait for a sale?
I would, but selectively. It would have to be a game that I really enjoy.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. I personally won't pick up the console until there's a game I definitively have to play and cannot play anywhere else.
Fair. They basically already did that for me. They announcing Spider-Man and Horizon sequel, so I'm kind of locked in already. But I think for a good single player experience, again, like Dr. Al says, something I really, really enjoy or I want to see the next part of, I would spend $70. I would hate it so much if they did it. But if I think it was worth the money, sure. Now,
to kind of stay on this topic, but also transition to a different topic. So there's a lot of There's a lot of YouTubers that play games, new games, and do walkthroughs of each game, every single step. Because me personally, I'm watching one currently for The Last of Us, and so I wonder if that's the reason that they're increasing the price. I mean, maybe NBA 2K21, you can't really watch a walkthrough because it's the same stuff over and over again. But I wonder if could be a reason why companies have increased their prices.
I can see that.
I don't think so.
In the age of streamers and content creators, a lot of people can play a game without actually buying the game now. Well, not play, but they can watch the game, and especially
Enjoy it.
especially these story-based games. It's very easy. Just like, why should I spend $60 and 30 hours of my time when I could just watch a 10-hour YouTube video and call it a day?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm watching The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
And although the game was really good in the beginning, but it took a turn for the worse.
Okay. So on that note, let's move on to The Last of Us for a bit, actually, since we are a little short on time. So
as I was saying, I was watching this whole new hype about The Last of Us and Last of Us, and I was like, maybe I should go and buy the game. But I'm like, no, I don't want to spend $50 on a video game. I'd rather just watch it online. So I found this YouTuber. I keep saying YouTuber. This fucking YouTuber who.
there's one F-bomb for the podcast. Thanks.
Sorry, viewer.
We did say you could get it.
Viewer discretion advised. You gotta make a little subtopic. Subcolumn that says that. He posted like it's about 11 hours, and it's the gameplay is not in there, like the aspect of killing all the whatever you have to kill to get to the next scene or whatever. It's strictly all the people talking about it's a storyline pretty much, like the characters interacting with one another. And I've watched in the last 2 days, I've watched a good amount of it. I finished The Last of Us 1 to get an idea of what happened at the end of the story, because I was playing it, but then I got bored halfway into it and never touched it again. So, but the game, I don't know how I feel about the game so far. I gotta see the ending.
All right. So I'll give my so I did play the full game, all 30 hours into the game. I'll keep this spoiler free as possible. For those who don't know, I have such a mixed opinion about this game. I think this game is beautiful, and by that I mean like graphically,
it is.
I think it's great. I never felt bad about killing NPCs until this game happened. I didn't. I like there's a. It's beautiful. I love looking at this game, like seeing the world, seeing how you even the grass. Just the grass looks better than any game I've seen. It's beautiful. Problem with the game is the rest of it. That let's see. So the story makes a lot of questionable choices. Choices I don't agree upon, but I guess that's a little more subjective. But there are choices in the game that the developers made that I don't agree with, and I feel it kills the pacing of the game.
It's very as you mentioned, it's very like, I heard the game is 30 hours long, or estimated to be 30 hours long.
It took me 30 hours.
This video that I watched, it's 11 hours, but it's like cutscenes. It's like people walking and talking and like, so it's like, I don't know, is it a short movie or is it like
you bring up a good talk. I'd rather this be a movie. I think if this was a movie, it'd be the story they want to tell. I feel like, I don't know. Naughty Dog it's very well. They're known for making these movie type games.
So, question then.
Yeah, good.
You guys familiar with the Telltale series?
Yeah.
Would it have been better as a Telltale games?
I think so. But then a Telltale game, those are based on your decisions. You don't make a decision in this game. They have a very linear story, and they force you to do things you don't want to do, but you have to do them because you lose the game. So it couldn't be a Telltale Games, unfortunately, because those are all about your choices. You don't get a choice here. They kind of sit you down, say you're gonna watch this, you're gonna interact with this, you're gonna like it.
I mean, I gotta give it up to the developers. They took a very like different approach to like.
It took a lot of nerve to do it. Yeah, it took some balls.
Like story-wise, I understand what they want to do. I understood what they want to do. They wanted you to see things from both sides. I think they did it in a very poor way. At one point, the game stopped being fun, and I know the developers, specifically the creative director, he's gone on record saying this isn't supposed to be a fun game. It's supposed to be a very you're supposed to feel the hate, feel the suffering the characters are going through, which I get. But you play a game to escape reality, right? Do you guys agree with me on that?
I do.
Yeah, you play a game to enjoy, to get away from life, get away from your everyday stress, and just sit back, enjoy whatever. I think a game should have, despite the story you want to tell, I think it should have fun elements to it. And if I'm sitting there miserable to the point where I don't even want to continue playing the game anymore, which at one point I did. At one point in the game, I didn't want to play anymore. I just wanted to put the controller down and just get to the next cutscene or just watch the rest of it. That's a bad sign for a video game.
Yeah.
So I will say this. I think if the story they wanted to tell was feel this deeply, they didn't do their job. Now if we're talking repetitive, boring gameplay, that's a different conversation. Yeah. But if we're talking the story, if they upset you, they did their job.
Yeah,
that's what they set out to do.
No, the story, the gameplay is like the shooting aspect and the collectability and like crafting and stuff like that is pretty good. It's well designed. The guns feel really good from what I haven't played it, but watching the person play, it's pretty good. But like,
that's every. Okay, so I follow two different Last of Us subreddits. One very pro. One side loves the game, the other side hates the game. I follow both just to see both sides of the argument. The pro side, they're very much on the mindset of they're sick of reviewers who say they haven't played the game, but they're still giving a bad review. And then there's Al in here. I'm like, God damn it.
No. I mean, the game is good. Like I'm saying, overall the game is good. It's if I had to rate it, I'll give it like a solid 8. It's repetitive a little bit, and I do love my 8s, and I can't wait for this to see what this one character that I despise right now. I hope she freaking gets eaten by.
I think your perception of the game would change drastically if you were the one playing it.
Yeah. So as the one who did spend 30 hours of my time playing it, I got like even the first half when you're just before the 10-hour side quests, I got tired. It felt gameplay. It felt very padded. I went at one part of the mission. I don't remember what part. It was in the first half of the game. I went from I went from infected combat, human combat, and then straight into another infected combat, and I was tired.
Yeah,
I just wanted to get to the next cutscene. It's a bad thing for me.
No, I totally understand that because the YouTuber that I was watching, I started to actually watch like gameplay with cutscenes and like the actual progression into the game and kind of feel like I was actually playing it. But there was moments where I could just kept skipping through the it was like half an hour videos each of like gameplay cutscenes, and I was just getting so bored of watching this guy going around in circles and collecting items and shooting villains and shooting crickets and shooting zombies and back to villains. I could just kept skipping it and constantly kept going forward. And then I was like, you know what? Screw the gameplay. I'm just gonna watch the cutscenes and see how the story is. Only.
My goodness. Anyway,
but that being said,
if I had to give Last of Us Part 2 a rating, 6 out of 10 for me.
Really?
Ending
included.
Everything included. The story and the padding, just it killed the momentum for me in this game. Again, the beginning, I love the first 10 hours. I had a great time. And then it kept going. And it kept going. And then it kept going. It's just like, oh god. I've played some bad video games. I've never played a video game where I actually got sick of playing. Where I just put the controller down. I was like, I don't want to touch this anymore. It felt like a job. It felt like it felt like I'm already disinvested. I want to see the ending. It's not. It was never a.
Yeah, You've never played Dark Souls, have you?
No, I have not. No. But it was never. I never had that feeling of just like I just didn't want to play anymore. I've always been like, no matter how bad of a game is, there's always, oh, hey, yeah, I'm awake. I'm not, I'm awake. Let me hop on and kill a few hours in this game before I have to go do something else. Like, as an avid as a guy who's been gaming for 20 some years, it's just left a very bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, we can have a whole
and that's still a
segment.
6 out of 10.
Huh?
And that's still a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because
it's such a beautiful game. I want to give developers credit for crafting such a like a realistic look of it and making me feel emotionally attached to a certain points of the game. I get it, but just the story and the pacing just really killed it for me.
Is a Lambo still a Lambo if you put a Corolla's engine in it?
I mean, it looks like one.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I mean, that's why it's a 6 out of 10.
I'm surprised. Yeah. Well, that being said, we could do a whole segment talk about the game because it's but we would have to do like a spoiler free, and I don't want to get spoiled right now because I'm this close to finishing the story.
I'm not spoiling.
You've already invested so many hours, Al. We don't want to take it from you.
I told you. I started to watch people actually play the guy actually play the video game, and this is so boring. I'm skipping through stuff. I'm just gonna watch the cutscenes only. And I found an 11-hour cutscene video, so I was like, screw it.
As a lasting point, as somebody who neither plays nor has decided to watch the cutscenes in the story, I'm just very much entertained by the conflict between both sides. So moving on.
Yeah, moving on. But so we are past our runtime, unfortunately.
We are.
We did. This was more of a pretty packed episode. So for any lasting comments before we call it a night, gentlemen?
No, it was a pleasure. Talking with you guys and doing this podcast. I hope our viewers enjoyed our content. Don't forget, I would love to hear what you guys answer to my icebreakers are. So please email if you do have one, like an interesting prank that someone did on you or you did. And other than that, I hope to see you guys next week.
And you, Miss Rory?
Yeah, please follow our content. We'll be putting out weekly. Again, email us your responses at theogdonutshop@gmail.com, and I'll look forward to next week.
All right. Again, thank you everyone for staying in and watching. Staying tuned, whatever the phrase is. Whatever the phrase is. Thank you for coming in, joining us, and enjoying the conversation. Jay Martin was in the Twitch chat if you guys noticed, but I did conversate with him a little bit during the show. So for those who want to join us, you can join us on Twitch at twitch.com/Base Deluxe. Yeah, is it Base Deluxe 15? No, Base Deluxe 15. Sorry. So BASSDELUX 15. You can join us on Twitch there on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We can also email us again at theogdonutshop@gmail.com. And for those, and thank you for watching and enjoying our conversations.
Until next week, guys.
Take care.
Stay safe.
Bye.